My name is Joe Peroni, and this is the Rise Above Project, second show for today, wearing my Pug hoodie. I think this is going to be a short show this week. What I wanted to do was do a follow-up on last week's show about people not being able to handle the truth. And what I wanted to do was read you guys a story that I love. I wish I wrote it, I did not. And I take a lot of pride in doing my own work. But this is not my own work, but I couldn't find out who did it. So I will just read it. But first, I want to give you just an idea of a personal experience that I have had. And the reason why I want to do that is not to get anything off my chest. I feel fine about it. But I'm doing it for maybe there's some people out there in the same position that are experiencing the same things I am. Because we're living in a very strange narcissistic time where people are choosing these false idols that they don't even know, and they're bypassing all their friends and family a lot of times. So I'm just going to give you one example. I could probably give you a lot, but I just want to go over one because it just happened about 2 weeks ago. So I noticed that one of my friends for about 30 years ago. Now, I'm not saying that we're like best friends. I don't want to say that. But we've had a mutual respect over the years. We were on the same wrestling team when we were kids. And as we got a little bit older, we both shared the interest in bodybuilding. And lo and behold, one day we both showed up for the same bodybuilding show. And I had won my class, he won his class. And then we went into the overall, which would be the overall champion. And I won. Plain and simple, no issues. I won that contest. Just saying a fact. So we've had a Facebook relationship, let's say, for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. And it's been very respectful until a couple of, let's say the last couple of years when it enters into politics. And he's been saying a lot of things on Facebook about how, you know, the deaths from COVID are not real, you know, it's basically a hoax and all this. And so what I did was I messaged him, not on Facebook. It was a personal message, whatever you call that. And I did this because I wanted to have a man-to-man, heart-to-heart with him, to tell him that as a therapist, I see this on a fairly regular basis, that I've done grief counseling, grief therapy with people who have lost loved ones from COVID. And it's difficult to listen to people, you know, go through those moments. And I can say for sure that it's real. I know it's real. And so what I started doing was he would post something and he would say, well, these numbers aren't real. And then I would send him a snapshot, whatever you call that, a picture from the Centers for Disease Control, which is like the best source you can get. And it would say that he's wrong. And he would come back with all these name calling things. We call them ad hominems. He didn't talk about the subject. He started calling me names and, you know, trying to be demeaning. Again, we've talked about this in other shows. Nobody can demean me by them saying a bunch of bad things and, you know, name calling. That just lowers him, not me. But I was just very surprised because we've had a very respectful friendship for about 30 years. And I thought, wow, you know, it's almost like this virus caught him. It's like listening to a zombie, like, oh my God, like something happened. So then, of course, he does it again, and he says something to me like, I'm an idiot, I don't know. He said the unemployment rates are going sky high. So what I did is what any human being can do. You look up on the United States Bureau of Labor, which is, again, the best source you can get, and I sent him the picture. And of course, I proved him wrong. He comes back and curses at me. Well, no, he didn't curse at me, but he used a lot of language that you shouldn't use and try to put me down. And then it happened a third time. And so what happened was he just unfriended me. So I lost a 30-year friendship over the fact that this supposed adult can't handle a truth. And I'm wondering if it happens to anybody else out there, because I think it does. Now, again, I don't want to get blamed for, like, people aren't allowed to have opinions. We're all allowed to have opinions. We're allowed to have thoughts. We can have beliefs. We can have philosophical conversations. We could talk about the man on the moon. We could talk about anything. But when it comes to a fact is a fact, that's different. And that's a whole different animal, right? Like, that's something that we really have not seen, at least in my lifetime, where we can both look at the sun and I go, wow, it's a sunny day. And they'll go, nope, it's not the sun. It's not a sunny day. There's a hurricane. Like they just do it. So it's really interesting. So I am going to show you that even when you're as nice as humanly possible, that you can't change these people. And then I'm going to read a story later that will enhance this for you. And it was beautifully written. Again, I wish I did it myself, but I didn't. So I'm just going to read you what I wrote him. And this is what I said, leaving out the name. I said, I hope you are doing well. I appreciate your Facebook posts. I know that you are a caring, intelligent, and you are very diligent with your research. I have too much respect for you to cause a disturbance on your page, but I wanted to share a small part of my experience with you. As a licensed marriage and family therapist, I am having a difficult time keeping up with the amount of grief counseling that is needed every week. I am trained to be a good listener, but it is difficult listening to people who watch their loved ones die from COVID on an iPhone because they are not allowed any contact. Almost all of the time, this could have been avoided if they were vaccinated. It's possible they may have gotten some type of adverse effect from the vaccine, but I don't know that for sure. All I know is that too many people are dying, and I'm doing my best to help people cope. If I'm being honest, I would say it's a drain on me as well. And on a somewhat related note, 4 years ago, there was a mass shooting here in Las Vegas. There are still too many people denying that it ever happened. And I can assure you that I know people from law enforcement and people in the medical field that had to deal with the actual truth. I can also assure you that the lines outside to donate blood a few miles from my house were real. I drove past them every day. I'm not sure where we are in this country, but it seems that people are only interested in believing one perspective instead of seeing the whole picture. I hope you have a good day. At times, I still remember the time that we competed in bodybuilding together. I look back on that day with fondness, and I still have never been able to attain your level of back development. It was extraordinary, but I've been trying ever since. And so that's my message to him. As a matter of fact, that was a compliment about bodybuilding. But let's be honest, I kicked his ass in that show too, by the way. So I didn't have to be as complimentary as I was. But that's just me. So what I'm trying to show you there is that you can't have a reasonable, caring conversation with people who are not wanting to be reasonable and caring back. By the way, the message that I sent, it died of loneliness. He never sent a message back. He only continued to attack me on Facebook. So I hope that was beneficial to you, to give some ideas about what it might be like in your life if you're facing somebody that can't handle the truth. So now I'm just going to read the story. The story, it stars a donkey, a tiger, and my favorite, the lion. It doesn't have a title, so I'll just start. The donkey told the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion became heated, and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration. So they approached the Lion King. As they approached the lion on his throne, the donkey started screaming, "Your Highness, isn't it true that the grass is blue?" The donkey rushed forward and continued, "The tiger disagrees with me. He contradicts me, and he annoys me. Please punish him." The Lion King then declared, "The tiger will be punished with 3 days of silence." The donkey jumped with joy and went on his way, content and repeating, "The grass is blue, the grass is blue." The tiger asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green." The lion replied, "You've known and you've seen that the grass is green." The tiger asked, "So then why did you punish me?" The lion replied, "That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is degrading for a brave, intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with an ass. And on top of that, you came and bothered me with that question just to validate something that you already knew was true." The biggest waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who doesn't care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. There are people who, for all the evidence presented to them, do not have the ability to understand. Others who are blinded by ego, by hatred and resentment, and the only thing that they want is to be right, even if they are not. When ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. I hope this was worth your time today. I'm Joe Peroni from the Rise Above Project, and please subscribe and send it to some people. I could use some more subscribers. Thank you.